Bonjour everyone, et voilà, here it is, my video amongst the gazillions of videos about creating homemade Christmas decor with foraged foliage and stuff. Actually, this is my very first year that I am doing this since we moved here because I always felt I didn't have the time. Plus, I have to be completely honest, there are so many beautiful accounts that I follow on Instagram, and they are all creating these beautiful Christmas wreaths and decorations. I'm kind of impressed by that, and it makes me a little insecure about whether I can pull it off as well. But I really want to do this, so I'm just giving it a shot. I am starting with the easy part, which is making the base for my wreath. So in the last video, you've seen me prune our vines. So I have a lot of long twigs and branches that I can use for this, because what I know is that you can't just bend them. They need to be completely soaked and wet so that they don't break when you bend them. Now, these are actually my Virginia creeper vines that I also pruned. And since they were very wet still, I decided to use these because it's just easier. I can work with these straight away without needing to soak them. So I am using one of Olav's container things. He always laughs because whenever I do gardening and I feel I need to have like a bucket or something to put everything in, I always grab one of his, and he's always so annoyed with it. Why don't you just buy a bucket of your own and use that? So I'm using one of his again, as you can see, and this actually helps me create a round shape. The beginning is a little difficult because I was kind of looking, how am I going to make sure it sticks together? But after a while, as you have more branches that you're wrapping, you find more places where you can stick the ends in. And at the very end, when this is done, I'm going to take one of the really long branches and just wrap them all around, so it's going to hold everything together. Now, of course, I couldn't have done this without the incredibly valuable help of my assistant, Tigrette here. And she was both my moral support and, as you can see, a great help. Now the base is all done. It needs to dry for a couple of days, so I can go out and start foraging for actual greenery and things that I can put on the wreath in a couple of days when I will continue with this project. First, I want to do something else. I want to start making a candlestick thing. I don't know what this is called. And I'm looking for this specific planter that I know we have somewhere. And I'm looking everywhere, I can't find it. Meanwhile, Olav is cutting this branch of our lilac that got destroyed during a recent storm. So I go, hey, babe, I can't find this planter. And he says, oh, that's in a greenhouse. You planted basil in there this summer. I'm like, oh, yeah, I did. And this shows you exactly how easily distracted I am, because I'm on my way to the greenhouse and I spot these beautiful dried flowers, things, stems that I need to pick now and and put with my dried stems collection for whatever next project. Okay, so back to the planter. What I plan to do is to make a planter with moss and then stick 4 candles in. Welcome to the tomato jungle. But there's actually still tomatoes in here. We never come in here anymore, but we can still harvest and eat these because they're really, really good. See, there's a few back there still. And some green ones here. Yeah, but they're getting too soft now. We should have paid more attention. Here's the last of the basil that I never harvested. But I was looking for this pot. If anyone is worried about the fire hazard, I actually ordered candle holders that I stuck in here later. I was just waiting for them to come in. So they are now actually in candle holders that are high enough so there is no fire hazard. Don't worry. I'm okay. My family's okay. I've parked my car in the mud here somewhere because while I was driving on the big road, I saw this little wood that they're using, like the woods behind our house, for firewood. And I saw at the end of it, which didn't look very far, it looked like they had many, many spruce trees, which we hardly have in this area. See, but I don't see any lower branches that I can use. These must have fallen down during the storm. There's plenty on the ground here, but I think I'll just use that. Then it doesn't feel like I'm stealing or doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. Oh boy, that one's big. All right, on the path. And back to the car. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, gosh. Oh. I honestly thought I parked way closer than I did. There we go. This is why I don't have a fancy car, because I do these kind of things all the time. Would love to have one of those Jeeps. I'm in another spot where I know there is some pine trees here to the right. sure if this is a private property. I do know a couple of farmers that farm up here in these fields. These have definitely been planted, but as I drive on that big road there, there is just natural ones behind here. Really, really big ones though. These that are very different, that are more like, these always look like Provence pine trees to me. We have a couple of these around the vineyards. See, but I meant the ones in the back there. They don't look like anybody is using those. What do you think? Let's go up there. So one lesson about moving to the countryside: whatever you're doing in your day, wear boots, because you'll always end up in a farm field somewhere for some reason. These look very Christmassy. I should have brought my bigger one. I have it in the car. Let's just pick a few and see what we can do with these. So here's our last spot. Look, this tree fell down and it's full of ivy. And what I like about ivy this time of year is that it has these beautiful flower-like things. So, and it's easy to bend. It's just here going to waste. See, there is mistletoe. That is something that we don't have in the Netherlands. There's just a very small part of the Netherlands, where I'm from originally, where you can find that in the very south. But where I grew up, we didn't have it, and the rest of the Netherlands doesn't have it either. But mistletoe is all around our property as well. So I'll get the mistletoe from where I live. Look, that looks like a kind of like a sprucey kind of tree back there. See if we can walk that way. Oh look, it's a conifer, I think. And this is where the tennis court is. So that's probably private property. I might just get a little bit from the back here. See where I can go down without going flat on my face. So this is probably going to sound pretty ridiculous to you, but honestly, I had no idea how one makes a Christmas wreath. Then I was just thinking, how am I going to stick the branches in? How am I going to use that wire? So I turned again to Skillshare. I have talked about them in a previous video. I find it such a valuable source for learning, and they are also the sponsor of today's video, which I am very grateful for. So Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives. They have thousands of classes, and they're all led by industry experts on all sorts of different topics, ranging from more personal development kind of classes, such as productivity or raising your confidence, more business-like marketing and publishing, writing, all that kind of classes, but also a large number, and that's the ones I'm most interested in, to be honest, is the more crafts and arts and DIY. Gardening, keeping your plants alive, making beautiful flower arrangements. This particular class about arranging a stunning centerpiece blew my mind. I am definitely going back to this one in the spring when I can pick all the wildflowers. So yes, I turned to the home and lifestyle section, to a class on literally making a Christmas wreath. I was so happy with the very hands-on, very practical examples that she gave, just showing how it's done and also layering the different types of greeneries. So this was so helpful, and it's also given me some confidence that I might actually be able to turn this wreath into something that looks nice. So if you feel you want to explore your creativity in the coming months, please know that the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Then I also wanted to try to make a wreath just using this ivy. Now I know many of you are going to want to comment to say I need to put my hair up. I actually only put my hair up when I'm cooking for guests, but I really don't like having my hair up. I don't know why I get these comments all the time. Let me just tell you this. I have skin cancer spots in my face a lot of the time. I need to have them removed regularly. I love to keep my hair down. I can see perfectly. I know it doesn't look like that on video, but I can see perfectly from my perspective. And having all this hair hang in front of my face actually protects me from the sun. So now you know if you've always wondered or always been bothered by it. This was actually a lot harder to make. I was thinking, oh, this is easy to bend. But when I put it up, I saw it was completely out of balance. So this needed a little more time, but I'm overall really happy with the result. So let me show you, I made these two now. I also put some greenery up on the kitchen shelving. I will be doing more Christmas decorations. We also still need to put our tree up. But this will do for now. I am really happy with the result. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.